And new spoiler review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Zidberg, and today I am reviewing episodes 3 through 5 of season 1 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney Plus. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here on Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do all things movies, TV shows, box office. I do movie franchise rankings, and I do out-of-theater reactions. So like any one of those things, subscribe, ring that bell, so notified when my new videos drop here on the channel. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on these next 3 episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Are you liking the show? Are you not liking it? Let me know in the comment section down below. We are now at the halfway point already of season 1 of the show. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I respond to every single comment, as you can see with the last couple of videos. So definitely comment. Let's have some fun discussions here. Safe community here on Max Talks Movies. Also, please hit that thumbs up button. So as I said, this week we got a 2-episode premiere last week to close out the month of January. And now moving forward, Spider-Man's release schedule is very different. Today we got episodes 3 through 5. Next week we'll get episodes 6 through 8. And then 2 weeks from today, the show is over, wrapping up its final 2 episodes on February 19th. So weird release style. Again, the show has already been renewed for not just a season 2, but also a season 3. If I'm not mistaken, season 2 has already been shot and mostly animated at this point. So we could be seeing season 2, if not at the end of this year, into next year. So very interested to see that. But let's get my spoiler thoughts now, because this is not episode by episode, weekly drops. I'm not going to break down episode for episode here, because I am breaking down, reviewing 3 episodes here on Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So we're just talking about where we're at, what I'm liking on the show. And overall, I still think this show is honestly great, in my opinion. This, for me, is the dream MCU style Spider-Man animated show. It's kind of what I've dreamt of having. Obviously, people grew up with the spectacular Spider-Man. I think for these days, this is the best we can get with Spider-Man animation, and I really enjoy the show. So on a story level, we ended last week with the big twist that Norman finds out at the end of episode 2 that Peter is Spider-Man. And that sets up kind of Norman for being the Tony Stark that Tony was for our MCU Spider-Man to this one, because now Norman in these 3 episodes is working hand in hand, the guy in the chair making the suits. So instead of Stark Industries building, Peter's suits in the Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr. MCU, we have Norman Osborn and Oscorp being the ones funding Spider-Man's new outfits. He tries multiple outfits throughout these next 3 episodes, and the one behind me is the one he kind of sticks with. I think we're gonna get to a classic red and blue with this type suit. And this show has now become kind of a 2-person show, where obviously Spider-Man is the central main focus, but Lonnie is really the co-lead of these next 3 episodes, of episodes 3 through 5, as Lonnie gets into some trouble, but not his fault, in episode 3, where his brother is in part of this gang. I think it's like the 110th, something like that. The gang who are going against the Scorpion gang. So we saw Matt Gargan in these episodes, which was really cool. We also saw Doc Ock in these episodes. Very, very cool. But basically, from a Lonnie perspective, he is now stuck. He basically traded his brother, his mom's crying, and he is clearly a family first type of guy. I really like Lonnie, really great character. That I'm sad to see the path that Lonnie is going down. You're seeing really someone who's bright, a good person, really cares about Peter, Pearl, Nico, all these characters on the show. It's sad that he's probably going to go down the Tombstone route, as we know, at the end of episode 5. But he trades in, my brother's gone, but I'll join the gang. And this is where things go downhill for his character. He's not really balancing football. He's supposed to be, this big football prospect at his high school. He's dropping all of that to be in this gang, basically without anyone knowing. He hasn't told Pearl really anything about his personal life. This was even before he had to be in this gang. And he really got thrown into the wolves when he went to that burrito place. Now he's like, everyone now knows what I look like, and now I'm associated with you, and things like that. That was the plan. And then Lonnie enjoyed himself with the gang in the fight between the 110 and the Scorpion gang, where he saves Big Don, I think is the name of the character, Big Don's life from Matt Gargan, like tackle him. He gets stabbed in the arm, but saves Don's life. And this is when they go back to the compound, and he's like, I'm tired of being called superstar. I'm not like that right now. But he did say that he enjoyed saving lives and doing that, and being part of a place that accepts him for, I guess, who he's trying to become. And they're talking about grave digging, and then that's when they land on Tombstone, which if you know Marvel Comics or even played the first PS4 Spider-Man game, Tombstone is a antagonist. The Spider-Man is kind of a gray area, but Tombstone's a very important character, and I'm very interested in seeing. It seems like this season will be building to an eventual Lonnie and Peter face-off. But Peter's side gets some big twists in this episode, as obviously he saved Harry Osborn's life in the very first episode. I'm saying that's the first character we see Peter as Spider-Man save on the show back in episode 1. And, Peter's working very hand in hand with Norman. And Peter's like, I need to work alone, this or that. But obviously Norman starts to help him out. And by accident, when he goes back to Oscorp to have another meeting with Norman, he's in one with Harry. So it is revealed now already, I think it was episode 4, if not episode 5, that Peter, and now not just does Norman know that Peter is Spider-Man, now Harry knows. And now Harry kind of becomes the guy in the chair. Now in this universe, Harry Osborn, which makes sense for today's climate, Harry is this kind of social media influencer. They said he had like 2 million followers. Like when he drove Peter to school, that was a really big deal for everyone in school. Harry being this, again, if you are a son or a child of someone as important, as you can see in this universe, like a Norman Osborn, you can see why this person, he talked about being homeschooled and the loneliness. Like I think the both similarities have with Harry and Peter. So basically when Norman, Harry's now part of Team Spider-Man is what they said. And Harry was really nice help. But now Harry's really becoming a part of Peter's life, which is going to alienate Nico. Because obviously Nico and Peter have this very close bond, which is very different than we've seen in the MCU Peter and Ned dynamic, and even the Peter and Harry dynamic in the Tobey Maguire films. I really enjoyed the Peter and Nico dynamic on the show. But now Harry putting himself, he's kind of a lonely person, homeschooled, doesn't really have a lot of friends. Peter now is not just balancing, Harry's by himself just with a famous father and kind of doing stuff on his own, while Peter's balancing being a superhero, but also having a social life, which is something that Harry at this really does not have outside of his social media persona. So, Harry comes to this movie night that Peter and Nico were planning out for a while. And you can tell Nico was not very happy that Peter basically brought Harry along and third wheeling basically this friendship between Peter and Nico. So that is going to be a very interesting relationship now to watch. Both Peter and Harry, as well as Peter and Nico moving forward. But overall, I had a blast with these next 3 episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It feels like classic Spider-Man to me, but really great, fresh takes on all of these characters. The fascinating part is Norman being a Tony Stark persona for this universe, because obviously we know Norman Osborn becomes the Green Goblin. So we know with all of this help and all of this support, you can feel, if you're a true Spider-Man fan, including myself, that something sinister could be in the works here from Norman. Because obviously we know he turns into the Green Goblin, and that is not good news for Peter. Obviously in the MCU, Iron Man is Iron Man. Tony is already Iron Man. There's no turning him into a villain. You can trust Tony being the mentor for Peter. But at this point, with your Spider-Man comics knowledge or movie knowledge, you know that Norman being a mentor is not very good at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see what they do towards, as we're already at the halfway point. It does seem like we're building to an eventual big fight between Peter and Nico, possibly, because Nico really has the co-story going on in this show. But again, Nico at this point is not obviously super powered at all, like Tombstone is both in the comics and in the video game. So we'll see if Nico gets to that point, if Harry or Norman even turn into the Green Goblin. I think Norman's turn to the Goblin should be, the closeout, setting up a season 2. I don't think they can do all of that in the final 5 episodes. But still, I am fascinated. I'm really enjoying it. I binged all 3 episodes in a row when I woke up, and it's a blast of a 90 minutes to watch. So overall, I'm really enjoying Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.